evening, ladies and motherfucking gentlemen. I am on a bad streak. Lost 2 horrible arenas. I need to open up the packs, though, because I actually made it up to 11. What am I looking for exactly? Nothing. There is nothing that I'm looking for. I think, technically, when you have a full set, the optimal strategy is, to just hold on to the packs, because if Blizzard ever makes... Ooh, nice. Baron. If Blizzard ever makes an expansion that you can get cards from in the new packs, then you want to have as many packs saved up from before so that you can open up the packs and have a chance of getting some of the new cards. However, I doubt Blizzard would do that because I'm pretty sure that's a pretty obvious strategy. I think Blizzard knows about it, and I think Blizzard would make sure that if they make any expansions, someone who's just hoarded up 1,000 packs because their set was full can't just open up those packs and get the new cards. So either they'll have like different packs, like separate expansion packs that you can open, or it'll be like Naxxramas, where you get the extra cards, the new cards, by playing in certain modes. So this actually was a pretty good opening of 11 packs. We had a legendary in here, an epic, some nice goldens, cold light seer, you know, lots of important stuff. Oh, another epic in the last pack. That's actually 2 shadow forms in this pack thing. Well, if Blizzard ever does make an expansion that you can craft cards from, let's go ahead and get some dust. I have a lot of it. 1,000 dust. Wow. Wow. That's what you get when you open up a bunch of packs and your set's complete. So at the end of the day, what do I have that's actually new? A Golden Wrath. Well, actually, yes, I will use that. And a Golden Soul of the Forest. No. Soul of the Forest, I tried. I really did. This is just not a playable card. Even with all the Death Rattle stuff in Naxxramas, it's just still no good. Got an Avenge, which I actually had before. That was for beating Naxxramas. And I had a Dark Cultist, which was for beating Naxxramas. And I guess I also had the new... Oh, a Golden Lightning Storm. Well, hell yes, I'll definitely use that. That's solid. Drain life. Oh, yes, that's very important. When I first opened up Hearthstone, that oh so many moons ago moment, I thought to myself, God, if I could only get a golden drain life, my world would be complete. So this is, I think the new stuff here is just the Naxxramas cards. So let's click through it. Yep, there's a shade of Naxxramas to get the new thing, the new notifier to go away. Blah. Wailing Soul. Oh, yeah, that's actually a cool card. I haven't seen it in any of the arenas so far, though. Silence all your other minions. That's a pretty interesting one. I like these guys. I think this is a pretty cool pair of cards. They're like a pretty decent 5-mana drops. Like, actually, 4/7 is the right stats for a 5-mana minion. So this is actually just a solid neutral minion without anything else. And if you happen to play with Stalag, then you get, you know, the potential for craziness. And then Kel'Thuzad, the final legendary. Pretty nifty one. Pretty nifty one. Maybe we'll see him in the arena sometime. Okay, so who do I feel like playing? I feel like playing Druid. Let's do it. Which almost rhymes with Druid. Kicking off with Junk, and Awesome. Epic. Haven't played with any epics in a while. We get absolute trash here. So I'll take the Tauren Warrior. Of these cards, I think the Storm of Night for the reach potential and the removal potential is nice. Oh boy, Keeper of the Grove is great because silence is useful. And Druids have swipe for mass removal, so I'll pass on Starfall even though I might end up with a lack of mass removal just because I value silence and damage so highly. The only playable card here really is a Stormpike Commando. Not a great card though. Now I have silence with the Keeper, so I don't want to take this out. I'm going to take the Creeper because I think it's a very valuable card, especially when you're a Druid and you can augment its damage with your hero ability. Starfire for some reach potential, and card draw seems good. Moonfire, hilarious as it is, we'll take the Panda. Druid of the Claw remains a great 5-drop. And I think I will take a second Keeper. That's just, it adds reach, it adds silence, it adds damage, it's just nice stuff. Now, do I take Innervate here? I'm really lacking for anything to Innervate apart from Druid of the Claw. But I will take it because the Ironforge Rifleman is alright, and the Naturalize is good in a pinch, but I think Innervate is just more solid in general. This is a very weird card. It's got decent stats for a 2-mana minion. Not many 1/4s exist. It's actually the only neutral 1/4 for 2-mana card. Demolisher is a 1/4, but it is 3 mana, and then the Armor Smith is a 1/4 for 2, but it is a warrior card. However, this is so double-edged. I mean, it'll mess up my keepers. Actually, does it mess up? Is that a battle cry? It doesn't say battle cry on it, but I assume that's a battle cry. I guess I don't really have any battle cries here, do I? Okay, I do have the Stormpike and the Ancient of Lore. If that counts as a battle cry. Anyway, I'm just going to take Power of the Wild. I think that's a better card overall. Moonfire or Mediocrity. So, the Ironforge Rifleman is a Moonfire with a body attached for 3 mana. Is that worth doing? I think it's probably worth doing. Swipe-a-dipe-dipe. Alright, that's good. To take a second Innervate, I'm not a big fan of playing with 2 Innervates. 2 Starfires I could do. My curve would support it at the moment. Or I could take a Mark of Nature. Let's grab the Mark of Nature. That adds some reach to your deck, some defense. It's good stuff. Okay, Silver Moon Guardian's fine, but let's take the Unstable Ghoul. I'm a big fan of that card. Early Taunt is good, and some removal is good. Here, as tempted as I am by the Kodo, let's take the Sunwalker for some late game defense. My curve, again, is pretty cheap at the moment, so I can do it. Now, the Bodavist Ogre. This really should be the last big minion I take, so I'll try to stop there. Mind Control Deck is the safest of these cards. It's a 3/3 for 3, which is fine, but I'm going to grab the Arcane Golem for some endgame reach. I think it's important. Soul of the Forest. God, it's no good. I have no synergy, no Violet Teacher or anything. We'll just take the Dragonling mechanic. Mark of the Wild or Raging Worgen. Let's take a Worgen. I actually could use a few more 3-drops. Not a fan of Mad Bomber. We'll take another Ghoul. Here we'll take a Warrior for some reach and some removal. I'll take the Ooze here for weapon killing. And a second Druid. I think I can do it. Power of the Wild is nice. It'll have some endgame potential, plus the other cards are just generic and weak. Now, here over a 3rd power, I'll take an Argent Squire to have a turn 1 play available to me. Wow, yet another Power of the Wild. Oh boy, I don't want the Rocketeer because I've got enough endgame. This would really tip my deck a bit. Second Mark of Nature I could take. I did pass on that Mark of the Wild. I'll take another Mark of Nature. I think that might be too many 2-drops if I took the, what's his face? Power of the Wild there. Alright, so here it's between, I think, Nourish and Azure Drake. Got enough removal, I feel like, so I don't need this bite. Card draw is what I'm lacking in this deck, and this gives it to me. So I just want the 3 cards, but no body, or the 1 card and a body. I'm going to take this, because the spell damage is actually useful as well, so it's a more versatile card than Nourish. Alright, well, I think this deck's alright. I don't think it's a Spellbinder. Amazing Druid deck in particular, I think the curve's a bit high. Which I've talked about before. It's a trap, I think, with Druids to go for like a super high curve deck because sometimes you end up getting the big minions to drop and you lose anyway because the opponent was ahead of you all game. So I like to play with more of a balance where you have some early game and some end game. Rob Armstrong. I bet that's that guy's real name. Okay, good opening hand here. Got a Claw for killing off any early Flame Imps. And then we have an Ooze that we can play on a Clear Conscience because Warlocks have no weapons. In fact, now I can coin out a 2-drop and then play another one right after it, which is gribbity great. Do you have a Flame Imp for me to kill with Claw? That's what I want to know, Mr. Armstrong. No. So, what do you play first here? I think what you play first is probably the Ooze. It'll kill more things. It'll kill a 3 toughness minion. The Unstable Ghoul will not. Okay, we're in the newbie bracket here. He passed the turn. He should have definitely life tapped. 100% need to life tap right there if you're not going to play anything else. I can understand if he was holding on to something like a Master Swordsmith or a Mana Addict, you wouldn't want to life tap. Or, sorry, you wouldn't want to play it, just have it die to the Ooze, but you should have definitely life tapped then. Well, this is a swimming opening here. Got a bit of a combo on our hands. If the Ghoul dies, it will trigger the Wind Fury and Enrage on the Worgen. The Worgen by itself might stop him from playing some minions, but at 4 mana he probably has a big drop. He's had a very slow start, so probably there is a big drop here, like a Ascension or a Yeti, that we could expect. I wonder. Dee-witty bop bop baddy bitty bip. Armstrong. For the crusade. Okay, that will actually just die to my Unstable Ghoul. Wow, alright. Well, you really just can't ask for anything better than this. I mean, actually, you could ask for something better. You could ask for, like, a better card to play. But this is totally fantastic. So I run my 2-drop into his 3-drop, killing it, turning on the Enrage and Wind Fury. I smash for 8 damage. And now we'll do the Blue Warrior and Shapeshift. Not the most sterling follow-up. I could have, like, just about put this game away if I'd had a real 4-drop to play. But still, pretty solid here. Now he'll have to, like, Hellfire or Mortal Coil and Demon Fire or something to clear my board to get back in this game. And he could get back in this game. This is an awkward hand. I have nothing to kill with the Keeper. The Golem is too early to play, and I can't quite play the Ogre yet. Alright, so he Mortal Coils here, which does he have a way of killing us? Yes, he has Soulfire. So he does actually go ahead and kill my guy. Alright, well, here I will just play the Arcane Golem. It'll give him a mana crystal, but that's fine. I am up enough cards that I don't mind, and I've got back-to-back 6-drops here. Unless he has back-to-back Siphon Souls, which are rares, he is going to be in trouble once I play those. So the Golem doesn't seem like that big of a deal. Not on turn 7. When you're behind on turn 7, Harvest Golem is not really what you want to be playing, so that's good. I was disconnected from my game, reconnecting. Oh dear. Well, that is depressing. Let's see if I can get back into it. Oh man, that would suck. Let me check the internet real quick. Oh, yep. I'm getting a sign that says my internet is down. That is a problem. Let's see if I can reconnect here. Well, that sucked a great big load of monkey dongs. No, even worse than monkey dongs, that sucked a great big dumpster truck full of monkey butt cracks. No, not even monkey butt cracks. This was like koala butt cracks. This was like sloth butt cracks. This is like kangaroo toe jam encrusted. Anyway, the point I'm trying to get at is that sucked. I was going to totally win that game, and then my internet died for absolutely no reason. So, yeah, we'll continue on. Taking a totally undeserved loss. Now, of course, you could say that with a loss, I'm going to play easier opponents, yada yada, but I think it is generally better to win a game than to lose a game. I think that the advantages of winning a game are far higher than the advantages of playing slightly weaker opponents. Anyway, let's continue on. I'll try to time it right. So that first video went about 11 minutes. We'll go about 30 to 35 minutes here. I'll see if I can use my mad video editing skills to put those two videos together into one video for you folks. Yeah? How would you like that? How would you like those apples? Would you like them a lot? Yeah, I bet you would. So I could do a really fast start here. I could do Coin into Panda and then Innervate into the Haunted Creeper. It is a possibility. I'd be investing, you know, one card into some serious board presence. I could also Innervate into a Rifleman to shoot the spinner, but it wouldn't give me card advantage because he'd get his, what's his face? He'd get his beast back. So I will actually, I'll actually do this.
Drink with me, friend.
I think what makes it tempting is the fact that if these spiders pop and I can drop a Power of the Wild, that'd be really great. We shall see, though. We shall see. He has nothing on turn 2 to follow up the Web Spinner, which is good. He decides to cash out and get a beast. That's a bit of a mistake. He really should have done this first to see what beast he got. It might have been a playable one. Now I can play a Power of the Wild. Then I'm exposing myself a little bit to explosive traps, so we're not going to quite do that. We'll swing. So I am down a card here, because I used Innervate. I need to somehow prove that the card was actually worth it in the next, you know, few turns. I am getting some damage on him. He's steady shotting again, so he's got a very slow opener here. Might mean he's holding on to Buzzard Hounds or something along those lines. Tauren Warrior is a bad card, but it is good for one thing, which is holding off Unleash the Hounds. And it's also good against Explosive Trap because it gets enraged and then deals extra damage. I might start to try to burn this guy out if he lets me just continue whacking him with this 3-power minion that I played on turn 1. Deadly Shot is not the best card here. He would have been really screwed if he did my spider. Hitting the panda was probably the second best thing that could have happened. So here, I think I'm going to play the warrior. And I'm just going to power the wild right now. I'm not going to wait for those spiders to pop. A good option now is better than the best option later. We're getting some pretty serious damage on this guy. I've got 5 damage in my back pocket that's totally uncounterable. If I can deal 8 more damage to him, I win. So he's got to hurry up and stop all this, or else he loses, and it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult for him to stop, given that I've got the 5 damage, and I've got the Shapeshift. Now, Keeper of the Grove would be perfect here. Doesn't happen. So how do we deal with this situation? Alright, what I'll do is this. I'll pop my spiders on the Bluegill Warrior. I'll enrage my guy. Shoot him in the face. And now I need to deal just 7 more damage to him, and I win. Buzzard Hounds would give him 4 dogs. He'd have to spend 3 of them killing the warrior, unless he had some help. And then I'd leave 1 more to kill one of these spiders. I still have 3 damage left over. This is not very good for him at all, because it kills just one of my creatures, but I still got 4 damage out here, which is bad news bears for him. Oh man, Starfire. Okay, so I've actually just got 9 damage in my back pocket. I am going to go for it, I think. So yeah, we'll hit him. And now, he's just really screwed, because even with life gain, Swipe Shapeshift is going to kill him. So he has to have life gain, board clear, and taunt. I just don't think he could do that with 7 mana. He got off to too slow of a start here. And I think the Innervate play, I don't know if it was the objectively right play, but it certainly worked out nicely for me. Okay, here's the Timberwolf. Does he have Unleash the Hounds? No, he has Taunt. Well, that's pretty laughable. I can actually kill him even with what I have. Alright, he plays a secret. You know what? Let's just not dick around here. I don't want to make this guy's game last any longer than it has to. We'll just swipe his face and have done with it. Okay, so that was 2 games in a row that were pretty easy. The first one I lost because of a mysterious internet failure. This one, well, I might not have played this person if I hadn't, you know, lost the first game, so I guess we'll call that a wash. Maybe the second person I played would have beaten me because they would have been good. I don't know. This deck seems to be performing well, though. Lots of breach, lots of removal, and high-quality minions, for the most part. Those unstable ghouls, they're tricky, because they're 1-3 for 2, which is generally not that good. They have that damage to everything thing, which is nifty. That can be double-edged, though, and sometimes just the fact that they have only 1 power is a problem. The Haunted Creepers is also kind of a tricky situation. They're a very strong card, but they do only have 1 power, which sometimes is going to hold you back. Alright, Blue Streak 27 is another Druid. And okay, we get a turn 2 play, but this stuff we don't want. Definitely don't want to give a Druid extra mana early on, so we'll mulligan those. And wow, that's great. I've got my turn 1, turn 2. Play is all set up. Both are resilient creatures. They don't hit very hard, true. But I'm a Druid, and on turn 3 I can augment my attack with one of these with my Shapeshift. And I have nothing else to play on turn 3 at the moment anyway.
In the light's name.
In the light's name, huh? Is he going to innervate Mark of the Wild, that guy? No? Okay, we'll think about this. So, he's probably not going to have any healing or anything. I'm just going to play the spider and attack his face. I don't see any point in shapeshifting to kill this and popping my Divine Shield, which lets him shapeshift to kill this right back. Let's get my creature out here and shapeshift next turn when I have nothing else to do anyway. He does still have the coin, so you can drop a 3-drop here, which would be tricky for me to deal with because I've only got 1 power minions. Alright, so that'll allow him to kill off my spider and shapeshift. To achieve what? Kill off one of the spectral spiders? Oh, he's just going to kill the Argent Squire, so there was no need for the Abusive Sergeant anyway. I don't know what he's doing. That made no sense at all. That just made no sense. Okay, well, we'll kill that. And I'm actually going to keep the Argent Squire on the table in case I get my Panda. It's very unlikely that I would ever Panda back my Argent Squire and replay it, but still, these guys, like, I don't really get anything out of it, so I might as well keep the Argent Squire on the board. Next turn's interesting. I could play the Stormwind Knight or the Keeper. Both are fine turn 4 plays, but the Innervate Sunwalker possibility is interesting because Druids are not the greatest at killing Sunwalkers. Not the greatest at all. I could kill this in a variety of ways. Do I play the Sunwalker? What could a Druid do? He could silence it? You know what? I'm just going to do it. Otherwise, this Innervate's never getting used. There's removal options for it are not that great. I think that was worth it. And I can then play the Keeper or the Stormwind Knight next turn. This is good to see. It's half his mana just for cycling a card and getting a 1/1 out. Not a big deal at all. He's going to Mark of the Wild. Well, if I had killed this, I wouldn't have had to deal with Mark of the Wild. But the good news is that I've got a Divine Shield. My 4/5 taunt, unlike yours, has Divine Shield on it, which is a significant disadvantage as far as these things go. So yeah, let's pop the Divine Shield. Well, hold on. I could silence this down to be a 4/3, but no, it's the same thing. I'll pop the Divine Shield and think. I could either shapeshift to get some card advantage and not put a minion down, or and be able to basically save these for later, or I could, and then I could also like play the Unstable Ghoul, or I could just play one of these guys. I'm just gonna play the Stormwind Knight here, I think. I think the Keeper of the Grove is generally stronger. It deals 2 damage just like the Stormwind Knight does, essentially, but it bypasses taunt. It has 1 less health, but it also can silence. So it's overall a better minion than the Knight. I think if I could use this to the same effect as the Keeper, I might as well do so. Okay, so this is not very impressive here because he knows I can just kill his board with everything I have already. My main problem is I have nothing good to do. I don't need this to use this Keeper here, so I don't really want to waste it. Alright, well, we'll do this. And while the Unstable Ghoul is not the most impressive thing in the world here, I will play it because I got nothing else to do. I really wish I had like some other minion to play here, other than these conditional ones that didn't make any sense to put down. He's down to 4 cards. He's going to need a swipe. Esperanto here, or at least a Starfall. Cobra is neither one of the above. That's very bad. And Magma, oh god, Magma Rager. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Magma Rager. That is something. So, yikes. You know what? I'm just going to swipe. It's simple. It's effective. He clearly has no answers to my board, or he wouldn't have played Emperor Cobra and Magma Rager. So we'll just clear him out, force him to take another turn here. And if he plays any big taunts, I can silence them. Like if Ancient of War got dropped here, the best card you could possibly have, probably. Got the Keeper. I mean, I guess the best thing you could do is, like, Innervate, Deathwing. Wow, I actually predicted it. I mean, I didn't predict it. I say things a lot, and, you know, in the game of Hearthstone, if you say enough things, eventually they'll be true. So here, let's see, we have 4, 5, 7, 8, 12 damage that I could deal. 12, 14, actually I win. Claw seals the deal. So we go, gadget, go. Badunk. Power of the Wild would have also, you know, actually that was a bit imprecise. Power of the Wild would have also been 4 damage like the Arcane Golem, but it would have cost half as much mana, so if I hadn't had the Claw, I might have needed to use Power of the Wild to win there instead. A little bit imprecise, but whatever, we got it. Very solid win. The Druid pretty much had just nothing. He had no Claw, Wrath, Swipe, Starfall, anything. No Keepers. He just, not even a Druid of the Claw. He really had like no Druid cards. He just did nothing. He rolled over and died. Well, I could have used more of these opponents in the last couple of arena runs. So spoiler alert, if you haven't been watching this in order, I had a Priest run, a Warrior run that went to 3. I got up to 3-0, and then I lost 3 in a row. And then I had, before that, a Warlock run that went to 1, which was, you know, even better, quote-unquote. Here is not a great hand. I'm going to mulligan this. I have enough 2-drops. I'm willing to mulligan a bad 3-drop. I could pay for that, of course, but I just really don't actually want to play that thing on turn 3 or ever. So I mulligan aggressively, and it pays off. We have a variety of options. I can play the Panda first, then the Ghoul. I do kind of want to keep the Ooze around if possible, just so that, what's his face, in case he plays a Stormforged Axe, I can be not totally screwed. I have lost my share of games just to a Stormforged Axe that I couldn't, you know, respond to in an efficient fashion. So the Panda here, I think, made more sense than shapeshifting to kill the Engineer, because it gives me a creature on the board, and I can kill this Engineer with the Panda and lift it hell about it. Ah, oh, don't be a Rockbiter weapon. Is he actually considering between Lightning Bolt and Rockbiter? In general, a Rockbiter is better here because you don't get overloaded. But if he has nothing to do on turn 3, he might as well use the Lightning Bolt to get the overload out of the way. He has the Rockbiter. Nutsacks. If I'd played the Unstable Ghoul, it would have killed the Novice Engineer upon dying, which would have been nice. Well, I'll do that here. So I'm not down a card or anything. I just lost a bit of tempo because he cleared my creature off, and I think he has a Lightning Bolt because he pointed something at the Panda first, which is probably a Lightning Bolt. Well, when I guessed right, I guessed right. So he's not playing any 4-mana minions next turn, and his Novice Engineer does die to that. He's got his own Unstable Ghoul, which will kill my Swamp Ooze if I were to play that. What I'm going to do instead is I'm actually going to use Bluegill Warrior and Shapeshift to kill this thing. And now he's only got 3 mana. So hopefully his play is not going to be impressive. Hopefully just a totem. And then I can play the Azure Drake. Having gotten his Rockbiter and Lightning Bolt out of the way, the Azure Drake as a 4/4 on an empty board should be pretty good. And that's exactly what happens. Just gets a totem out. Taunt is annoying, of course. I don't really want it to be a taunt. I want the Azure Drake to be able to kill whatever he plays. That'll do. I do want to innervate out the Swipe. Or sorry, not the Swipe. The Ooze. This way... Yeah, you know what? I do. Otherwise, I just don't know how Innervate's going to get used. If he'd had a Stormforged Axe, he would have already used it. I want to be able to clear this totem out with my Ooze, and then kill whatever he plays with the Drake. Or vice versa. Kill whatever he plays with the Drake, and then use the Ooze to run into his other minion. Now, a good 5-drop here could turn it all around for him. So this game is... I wouldn't say I have the advantage here. I just played a little bit aggressively, trying to establish an advantage. Essentially, the card that I gained with the Drake, I spent to innervate out the Ooze. Lava Burst on an Azure Drake is fine, because I got a card from the Drake. He spent a card killing it. And now, well, I got options. I can either play the Raging Worgen and then Shapeshift to kill the Loot Hoarder. Or I can play the Druid of the Claw. The Loot Hoarder will live, but the Druid of the Claw will protect the Ooze. Of course, you could have a Hex. I just feel like he's got a Hex. So I won't play the Druid of the Claw just yet. We'll just play a Raging Worgen here. Card-wise, I'm doing fine. He's got 6 to my 5, and I'm about to draw my 6th, but I'm ahead on the board. He's also overloaded. He can't use his full 6 mana. That's a pretty big deal. That means no Fire Elementals right now. Of course, a good 4-drop like Ascension would deal with my board very easily. But he doesn't have a good 4-drop like Ascension. He just has this Haunted Creeper. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Well, I think I'll play the Druid here over the Ancient, and the reason for that is simply that Shapeshift is useful here, and I'd like to be able to use it. So let's trigger Wind Fury. Kill off one of these like that. I'll kill off the Spell Damage Totem like that. And I'll kill the other spider like that. So now he needs a Lightning Storm to kill off my 2 cheap minions. And this thing is going to start whacking him for 8 damage if he doesn't hurry up and do something about it right quick. Fire Elemental to kill off my Worgen. No, my Druid. What? Oh, that boggles me. I don't actually understand why he did that. Why not kill the Raging Worgen? Is that just a misclick? He knows I can just Shapeshift and kill this Fire Elemental, yeah? So Ancient of Lore for 2 cards is tempting. Then of course I'd have to 2 for 1 into this Fire Elemental,
What to
which I'm not that big a fan of. I mean, I'm basically throwing away the card advantage I would get from this. So yes, that's not the right play. I think the right play is quite simply
do? I must
this
safeguard the land.
for 2 damage. My Ooze has done its duty. Shift. Swing for a bajillion damage. It's almost like this guy doesn't understand that this guy attacks, that the Raging Worgen attacks twice. There would otherwise have been no reason not to kill it with the Fire Elemental. What possible reason could there be? Like setting up for a Lightning Storm? That makes no sense. Well, I guess that's what he was doing. So, coin flip on the Druid. He loses the coin flip. Okay, he plays a Rifleman to guarantee the kill. Sure. And a Stormforged Axe. Well, all of a sudden, he's actually doing fine on cards, but he is low on health. So I am pretty okay with the situation. Let's get my cards. Alright, and both of those will be decent in a moment. Do I claw to kill the Rifleman? I think so. He's got this 5/5 to deal with, and that's a pretty difficult thing for Shamans to take down without a Hex. If he uses a Hex, that's half his mana for the turn because he's overloaded, and I've got the Ogre. I've also got actually a lot of damage on tap, as it were. I have 4, 6, 10 damage on tap. Okay, so actually I'm just going to burn him out right now. We'll do Starfire. This, and I could kill him with the Golem or with Swipe. Let's do the Golem, that's sexier. And there we go. Hooray! Hooray, hooray, hooray. So this deck is going pretty well. I've won 3 and lost 1, and the one I lost was an internet failure, not a Boris failure. So we should have a couple more games in us here in this video, I think. Or 1 if it's a long game. And we'll be right back in it to win it. I started off with 2 really good arenas, then 2 really bad ones, and hopefully this one will return me to my glory. I'll take even like an above average arena. I'll take a nice 7-win run, no problem. Especially considering I began with a loss. I think one time I did have a first game loss and I ended up making it to 12. I think it's happened to me once. Wouldn't expect it to happen here. This deck doesn't seem that explosive, but you never know. So I'm first against a rogue because of course I am. No Innervate here, so I have to mulligan my 5 drops. We get the Panda who loves showing up early. Urumi is our roguish friend, and hopefully this one does not have Coin Ringleader. Ah, the Devil Mark in Nature. Really wish that was not the case. Oh my god. Can I catch a break once? Once? Son of a Protector, that's fine. Okay with that. So my Panda will trade to it. That's a problem because that means I've got these 2 dead Marks of Nature in my hand doing nothing. This is actually a really bad start. Jesus. That's why I'm not a big fan of these buffs. I like to have 1, but having more than 1 can sometimes be a problem. Alright, so she's actually going to keep her Sun Free Protector, use the backstab to kill my Panda. And now I'm in a little bit of trouble. Turn 3. Do I just Shapeshift to kill the Loot Hoarder? Well, if I play the Power of the Wild, Loot Hoarder will kill it. So there's really no reason, if Loot Hoarder is going to die, to let it kill my card. So why not claw and kill that? Well, because Loot Hoarder would still be there to kill my Power of the Wild. Although, you know what? I should have done that. I should have clawed, Shapeshift, kill this, and then next turn I can Power of the Wild, kill the Loot Hoarder. Ah, that would have been the smarter play. Dancing Swords. I cannot deal with that thing. I can, however, play a couple of unimpressive Panthers. Maybe that should be a band name. Papa Boris and the Unimpressive Panthers. So Ogre is a turn too late, as it always is. Is she gonna play Deadly Poison? I smell Deadly Poison. Poison's in the air? Yes, it is. Oh my god. Well, is she gonna let me kill this Dancing Sword? No, she's keeping it at full health to stop me from getting the card, or clawing it to death. Get a Haunted Creeper. Alright, well, we'll do this. I want to put a Mark of Nature on it. The question is what kind? Well, if I put attack, it'll just get killed by the poison, so I guess I should do this. This will at least save me some health. Both of our attacks will have to go into the spider to kill it, and then I'll get 2 spiders back out. Unless she has Fan of Knives, those spiders can maybe get the other Mark of Nature to finish off the Dancing Swords, or I could play the Boulder Fist Ogre. I'll have some options. Just please don't have any Fans of Knives. Master of Disguise. Well played, madam. Well played. Innervate. 1 mana shy of being able to let me play Mark of Nature. I have to play the Boulder Fist Ogre. Even though getting hit for 8 damage sucks here, it's just gotta happen. It's just gotta happen. I need to get this Ogre out here or else I'm gonna be in super big trouble. So does she have Assassinate? Last turn she had no Fan of Knives. No, she's got it. No, she freezes it. Man, if I get a Keeper of the Grove, I could silence my Ogre. I'd be okay then. If I could silence this Ogre. Ah, Druid of the Claw. Well, I cannot play the Druid and the Mark of Nature, but I can innervate them both, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to play the Bear form. I'm going to do a slightly inefficient innervate. Mark of Nature. Get my Ogre on. And you know what? I can do Claw here. That's worth it. Let's kill off these Dancing Swords and get my card. So I've got 2 really big taunts. She needs Silence or Assassinate. If she does have those things, I am in deep, deep doodah. Or even a Sap. But if she cannot Assassinate, Silence, or Sap, I'm going to be okay.
We must
Okay, that's a buff. It'll kill my Druid of the Claw, but it does not kill my Ogre. Does she have an answer for that? Oh no. No! Okay, that's actually not great, but it's at least okay. At least she's not just sapping it. So double Eviscerate, and then Master of Disguise, it seems, to take the Ogre down. So she got it down, and at the end of the day, she has 4 cards to my 2, which is bad. So the smoke is cleared, and I am losing. Pretty badly. She has 3 extra cards on me, and a life advantage, and it's her turn. Crap. I guess I just lost too much with her endless parade of 4-mana things, even with my Dancing Swords helping me out here. It wasn't enough. Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, that's a bitch. That's a bitch. And a half. She just got off to too much of a good start, and I was a little bit slow with those Marks of Nature. I needed minions, not Marks of Nature. That was my undoing.
This is our town.
Okay, she's playing it uncomboed, so probably comboing something else, and that is correct. Ha, disguised toast. Alright, if I got a swipe here, I would shoot myself with it so I could go out in style. Or a Starfire. Rifleman. Oh, I can't quite kill myself. Can't quite kill myself here, unfortunately. The end. That was just a game where I lost because my cards weren't good enough. Also a good illustration of why the buffs are not that exciting. Sometimes people will be like, oh, Boris, why don't you like the buffs? They're so great. I don't actually know that people talk with that accent. I can't really hear most of you, what you say. I can just read your text. But yeah, that's why buffs are not that great, because if you get them, especially if you have 2 in your deck and you get them both early on, you might have just absolutely nothing to do. And that's bad. So we had 3 easy games in a row, but I lost one. And so now if I lose again, I'll just have another 3-win arena, although this one felt much better than the Warrior one. Because one of my losses was the internet, one of mine was just a normal game. It didn't feel particularly frustrating. And then the 3 wins were very solid as opposed to the Warrior, who had tough wins. Kakarot.
I must protect
That's a weird name. We're going to keep the Haunted Creeper good against Cleave and Heroic Strike and Fiery War Axe and pretty much all the Warriors removal. My slightly high curve shows up to rear its ugly head here. Really rearing its ugly head. Oh my motherfucking Christ, that's just terrible. So I can play the Haunted Creeper, but that's it. It's just that and Shapeshift for a while here. If my draws don't improve right quick, please just pass the turn. Please do not play coin, thank God. Alright, so Mark of Nature is not a great combo with the Spider. Truth be told, I really would have liked anything else in my deck besides this Mark of Nature. Here's a 3-drop. I might Mark of Nature the Spider for the attack bonus and kill the thing. Unless, of course, it's Harvest Golem. Are you goddamn kidding me, Jesus? Okay. Well, we're gonna do this for the taunt then. So make him bust through the spider. And then 2 more spiders come out anyway. So ha. Sucks to be you. I will play the Storm of Night next turn, almost certainly. Might finish off the first iteration of the golem, assuming that he damages himself against the spider. Luckily there's no rampage or anything silly going on here. Now, this is interesting. Keeper of the Grove. Well, Keeper of the Grove kills the Fairy Dragon just as well as the Storm of Night does, but I'll hang on to the Keeper because it's the better card. I could also silence this golem. Does he actually have Rampage? No, he's a Dark Iron Dwarf. Oh boy. So, I think killing the golem makes sense. The question is, do I play the Keeper to damage the dwarf and trade my Storm and Night into it, leaving an empty board safe for my Keeper? Or do I try to play the better card, the Druid of the Claw, and try to kill the Dark Iron Dwarf that way? You know what, let's just go ahead and empty this board. Let's just empty it. Me with the only minion, and then I hope that my handful of big minions will give me the win, because if my opponent doesn't have minions as good as mine, I am the first player, I'm going to be playing things first. I start off with a little bit of a lead. If he skips the beat on this turn, I just drop my Ogre, and then it's all Ogre from here. Get it? It's all Ogre? Okay, no, anyway. Well, as the old saying goes, it ain't Ogre till the fat lady sings, and he's got a good 5-drop. He actually came through. I'll play the Sunwalker to protect my Druid of the Claw. Not my Druid of the Claw, my Keeper of the Grove. Popping Divine Shield to kill this thing would be, or to damage this thing a lot would be fine by me. He has 6 cards though to answer it, which is a lot of cards. Warrior's not that unlikely to have a good answer to just a plain old Sunwalker, but still I gotta try. If I played the Ogre, this thing would just kill my Keeper of the Grove.
What now?
So he chooses Whirlwind to pop the Divine Shield. Does he actually have a Fiery War Axe here? No, thank God, that would have sucked. Dark Scale Healer. Well, honestly, that may look bad, but it really could have been a whole lot worse. So we have the Storm Suck Commando being extremely unhelpful here. It doesn't do me just about any good. This actually is fine. I find myself wanting to deal like a damage to everything. Let me think about this. I hate doing this, but I think what I'm going to do is just shoot this, kill it. So I'm doing the same thing I did a couple turns ago. I'm clearing out the board, leaving myself with a minion, and hoping that my good cards will counteract his. Now, he had a pair of 5-drops. So he had good minions. I'm hoping he's out of good stuff while I still have more gas in the tank. And again, I have a little bit of a lead, so I'm hoping that that will just carry me through the victory here. All I need is 1 turn of him playing junk, and I'll be fine. Okay, this is a good start. This is not a very good card. And that's not a very good card. Okay, that's what we needed here. That is what we needed. So we'll play some taunts.
Where shall I strike?
Number 1. Number 2. Kill the panda. Now, both of these are pretty good answers to the big dumb beast. Got 5 cards to survive. About to draw my 6th. I'll have more card advantage if I use Starfire. Shield block makes no difference. I'm just happy spending 3/8 of this mana. And then he's got this guy. Alright, so that's annoying. But Starfire plus Ironman will, or Rifleman will kill him. So let's draw a card first. Shoot him. And if he's going to ignore my stuff, I'm happy to ignore his. This is also nice in case he does have the epic shield block, stopping him from being able to deal too much damage. Granted, if he had shield block, he probably would have used it already. But still. Dormant Champion is a good draw for him. It lets him kill off my warrior. And I really can't kill this guy easily because I just did 6 damage to the Ventricle Mercenary. Well, play this. Play another Taunter. And I guess I'm gonna 2 for 1 to kill the big dumb beast. This actually might have been a mistake because the ogre will survive with 1 health remaining against the champion, but then he'll die to my ghoul. So perhaps I should have not played this ghoul and played shapeshift instead. Wow, he's actually hanging in there. He had really good. He had a kind of bad turn where he played the panda and the ooze, but then he had panda and the big dumb beast. But then he played Ventricle Mercenary and Stormwind Champions. This guy's got tons of gas, and I'm out of mine. I pretty much need my Azure Drake to give me a card and put in a body on the board to catch back up here. Crap. Because my ogre is probably going to die. Man, he just is not running out of gas. Holy shit. He's going to kill that to enrage his Berserker. It's quite clever. And he's going to get a weapon, which will finish off my Druid of the Club before it can kill his Stormwind Champion. Are you goddamn kidding me, Jesus? Wow, that was a very annoying way to lose this game. I shouldn't have played that Unstable Ghoul, though, perhaps. Alright, well, I have to try to get maximum mileage out of all my cards. So this ogre will kill the weaponsmith here. Shift him in the face. Well, he's ahead on cards and on the board. And it's his turn, so I'm really far behind here. Perhaps I could have won if I hadn't played the Unstable Ghoul. He has another weaponsmith. Are you goddamn kidding me, Jesus? So he kills the ogre with his thing. He lives, he gets a weapon, kills my ooze. He can heal up his Berserker, stopping me from shapeshifting it to death, and that's a wrap. Man, that was remarkable. All I needed was for him to not have like a bajillion big things, but he had, you guessed it, a bajillion big things. So that's that. And we're on to the next arena, so I think I'll do that in the next video. I'm going to go now figure out how to splice those two videos together. And we'll be back soon with some more Hearthstone Arena action. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you again soon. Take care, folks. Oh, well, okay, if you want to see the prize, you can stick around as a special bonus feature here. But if you're heading out, have a nice day. Have a nice day. And a sneak peek. It'll be Paladin, Warlock, or Hunter. Well, I've played Warlock and Paladin, so we're going to do a Hunter next time. I'll see you then.